Now it's time to generate as many balls as we can in every second. And I told you that to do this, we need a special component called spawn component, and you will find all about spawn components in the component section and maybe here. So the thing we're trying to do can be achieved without the spawn component, but spawn component actually reduce a lot of boilerplate code and a lot of complexity. So wherever we need to produce a lot of components of same type, like bullets that will be firing from a gun or lot of enemies. So in this kind of situation, we can use this spawn component. So I'm going to show you how we can use the spawn component, and through the spawn component, we will produce the balls across the screen. So to do so, I have to go to my flame game class, and here I need to remove this ball that we have added manually. And also inside the ball class, we have defined a position for the ball, so we don't need that. And also we don't actually need this game reference as well, because we don't need it right now. Okay, so I'm removing it as well. And I'm removing this import statement. And let's go back to our game class. And after this line, I'm going to add a spawn component, but I need a reference to that spawn component, and you will see why I need it. So at the top of this my flame game class, I'm going to write like let spawn component. Let's name it as ball spawner. And let me now add this ball spawner. So add, and let's say ball spawner equals spawn component, and the first thing that, or the required parameter we need to provide, which is a period. So whatever period we provide over here as a second, within that second or within that period, the components will be spawned. So let's say that it is 1. So by providing this period 1 means this spawn component will spawn other components, in our case the ball, in every 1 second. And we can provide other attributes, like we can provide the auto start. I mean, whether this spawning behavior will start automatically or not. By default, I think it is true. I think the auto start is true by default, so we don't have to provide the true value manually. And also we need to provide another very important attribute, which is a factory. So this factory is actually a method, and here we get an integer value. Let's say this is amount, and this method will be called, this factory method will be called in every second. And within this method, we need to create the component and return. And in our case, this will be the ball. So we have to say return and ball, and we need to provide the radius. So what would be the radius of the ball? We can provide 20 or 30 or whatever it is, or okay, let's say it is 20. Let's say it is 20. And what would be the number? So the number will be random as well. So we need to produce random number every time this factory method is called in every second. And to do so, I'm going to declare a member variable, class member variable, which is final random, which is random from math. Okay, so through this object we can create random numbers. So for this number we can say random dot, in our case we want to create random integers, so we need to call this next int method. We can create double numbers within 0 and 1, and also we can create boolean true false randomly. So but in our case that will be next int, and the maximum value would be 10. So this next int method will generate numbers between 0 and 9, but we don't want 0, we want 1 to 10. So that's why I am going to add 1 after this next int method. So whatever it produces, we will add 1. So if it produces 0, so the output will be 1. If it produces 9, the output will be 10. Okay. So another thing, so we have so far provided the period, the factory method, and another thing, important thing, that I told you that the balls should be spawned randomly. So position of the ball would be random on the screen. So you see it already has started spawning the balls per every second with different random numbers. But we are not done yet. We need to provide the position, because it is okay, it is randomly generating balls with different positions, but you see sometimes the ball actually some balls actually overlaps the game screen, and sometimes it is out of the screen. We don't want that. We need to specify an area where the balls should be, and that's why we need to provide another argument after this factory, after this method over here. We are going to provide another argument, which is an area, and here we need to specify a shape, and in our case that will be a rectangle shape. So let's say rectangle dot from left, top, right, bottom. So we need to call this method, and we need to perhaps import something. I guess we need to manually import this, so that will be import experimental.dart. Okay, so experimental.dart. So we need to now specify the top, left, right, and bottom positions or values for x and y. We have specified the radius as 20. So we want our balls to be spawned on the screen at least with the radius space. Okay, at least with the radius space. So we can say the left value would be radius or 20. The top value would be 20 as well, and the right would be size. That means the game size dot x. That means the total width of the game minus 20. And also the height about the bottom, that would be size. That means the game size dot y. That means total height of the game minus 20. So with this settings, the balls will be spawned within the game area, and I hope this time the balls will not overlap with the game or the screen edge, or it will not outside of the screen boundary. So you see the balls are spawning randomly on the screen with random position, with random numbers. Now all we have to do is we need to move our player, so that it can collide with the balls. And when it collides with the balls, we will first remove all the balls from the screen, and also we will add all the numbers that have been collided with this rectangle component, and that will be added as a score. And also we need to add a timer so that we can keep track of the game time. So we can start with 2 minutes or 5 minutes or even 1 minute, like 60 seconds. So the game objective will be how much I can score within that time period. So I need to find out the balls with higher numbers so that I can score higher. So this time now we need to do something when the player or the component collides with the ball, because we did nothing inside this rectangle component. When it collides, we are just printing something, but this time we need to remove the ball, and also we need to collect all the numbers of the balls and add as a score. And I'll do that in the next lecture.